Well, this is it, folks. Episode 50, live. We're on the air. Yes, we have now reached our 50th episode here on Notes from the Pastor Cave, and I'm so excited about it that I went out and bought these $1 balloons. So we are really celebrating big here today, and I'm gonna leave these up here just for a minute because I want the capture screen to catch this. And but while I'm at it here, what I want to say is I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and who has liked and who has listened to these videos that are going on. Honestly, this is one of the cooler things that I've done in the last several years in ministry. And just really felt a prompting by God to do this in maybe November on into early December. Decided to give it a try, and it's been really great for me. It's been really rewarding, and that's because of all of you. The likes that we get, the comments that I get, the encouragement. That's not even on the YouTube channel. I get phone calls from people, and I get people saying, I was just really blessed by what I heard in a certain episode and things like that. And that, some people say, hey, I listened to this and it really woke me up about something, and all that for a guy in preaching ministry. All of that, they're all very satisfying comments. And it lets me know that I really did hear from God when it was time to start this, and so we're very excited. Of course, if you're seeing this for the first time, please subscribe and hit that notification button so that you'll be notified every time that we put out a new video here in the Pastor Cave, which is just lovely. It's almost like perfect temperature in here today. And so I'm going to go ahead and take these down because I'm actually going to do a little teaching here today and not just celebrate video number 50. 50, and going to put these down now. And we have been in we just kind of got started in Exodus chapter 16, and this is the point at which God starts to miraculously provide. I hesitate to know what to call it, a bread-like or flake-like substance. That could be worked like bread or flour, that's known in the scriptures as manna, M-A-N-N-A. And there's been a lot of scientific speculation over the years as to what manna might have been and what it wasn't, and whether it was something that could be come by naturally or whether it was strictly a supernatural thing. None of that really matters to me, except that we know historically that it's a fact that this substance appeared to help the Israelites along on their journey. So it started, and we talked about this last episode. It started with them. They left a place called Elim, where there were springs and there were palm trees, and after some hardship, it was a really cool place to stop. And then they had to set out from there, and they had to move forward. They had to keep forward, and in a very short time, the Israelites are complaining. And I talked about that it being kind of a matter of immaturity for them, and that there are some reasons for their immaturity. They might have more reasons for their spiritual immaturity than we have for ours. Ouch. But they departed from and let's see. Let me pick it up in verse 2. And the whole congregation of the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. We talked about this word grumble and murmur and all that stuff. And the people said, very dramatically, the Spirit, would that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt when we sat by our meat pots and ate bread to the full, for you have brought us out into this wilderness to kill us, to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Okay, so very, very dramatic, and looking. I remember I had one professor in college that always talked about this idea of looking through rose-colored glasses, seeing the past through rose-colored glasses, and we always have to be careful that these people have just left slavery a very short time ago, and they're already looking at their slave days as the good old days. They're just wow, it was just so much better back then, and we talked about that a little bit last episode too. And so we have this idea, which we can draw a direct line, that and it just this is what makes sense to us, that hardship brings complaining. Okay, so they feel as if they are in a time of hardship and difficulty, and we can look at it and say they're not, but whatever has transpired, whatever has happened, there is a mood that's going through this congregation of people, this fellowship, this gathering. And it's that they're in a time of hardship, and so they begin to complain. Okay, and who of us here could really judge that? Because every single one of us, in times of hardship, have complained to God. It's just kind of part and parcel. When the pressure is on, when things get difficult. And we kind of can't see any light at the end of the tunnel, we begin to complain. Very natural. I'm not necessarily saying that it's a good thing, but that it's a very natural kind of thing to have happen. Okay, but here's what I want you to see. Okay, the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I'm about to rain bread from heaven for you." That would be the manna that we just talked about. "And the people shall go out and gather a day's portion every day, that I may test them." We'll talk about that probably in another episode, whether they will walk in my law or not. Okay, and my point is, without trying to read the whole chapter here, the Israelites continue to complain. They receive this prosperity from God. Okay, they're going to go out. They're going to go out 6 days a week, not 7. They're going to go out 6 days a week, and this stuff is going to be on the ground, and they're going to gather this stuff up and put it in pots, and they're going to have enough to eat because of this. Okay, they're still complaining. Okay, and this is the point that I really want to drive home today, really kind of a singular point kind of thing, is that we all know that hardship brings complaining, right? But here's the thing, prosperity brings complaining also. The complaining is not something that's reserved just for those who are in hardship or in difficulty. We can become complainers at any time. And so what I'm saying is something we need to watch for, okay? We can become complainers in our prosperity. And, probably the best example is just, and I know there's people listening all over the world here, but Americans have this problem. We are the most prosperous nation ever on earth. The poorest Americans are wealthier than 90% of the rest of the world. Okay, but what do? We complain. I got this, but I really wanted that. I got that, but I really wanted this. I got 5 of these, but I really wanted 10. I got 10 of these, but I really wanted 20. Right? There's always, even in prosperity, even in all that we can get and all that we can gather, if we are not careful, we can still have this spirit of complaint about us, where we find something negative about everything that's going on. And this is not cool with God. This is not, God is constantly agitated, and they are constantly agitating God with this complaining spirit because they've gotten into, and I think this is really the key here, they've gotten into a habit. And this is one of the most important, if you are somebody, and you know who you are, right? If you are somebody that has a tendency to complain, one of the things you've probably noticed is that you not only complain in hardship, but you also complain in prosperity. Even when things are good, you continue to complain because it's become a habit in your life. We talk about how some people see the glass half empty. And if you are somebody who has a tendency to see the glass half empty, that you will complain because you still view life that way no matter what. You will continue to complain even when things are good. And this is not glorifying to God. And God is not particularly happy with you doing that. And but most importantly, it's not something that represents God. God is not a complainer, and God does not expect his people to be complainers. All right. So, just short lesson today. So excited about here. I'm going to do it one more time here. Da-da-da-da, because after all, I spent an entire $1 on these balloons. So it's actually $2. It's $1 and $1. So $2 whole dollars I spent on these balloons. So thank you, everybody, for hanging in there. We are at our 50th episode, and we will keep going from here and see how many more episodes that we can possibly do. And again, I just appreciate all of you who are constant watchers and listeners and who take the time to drop in. Have a great day. God bless you. Vita brevis gloria aeterna. Life is short. Glory is eternal.